everybody. Alright. Been a minute. Been like, what, 2 weeks since my last upload? Probably a little longer than that. What's going on with y'all? I missed y'all. I missed all of y'all. Fix my mic. I haven't done this in forever. Hold on. Bow, there we go. What's going on, everybody? How y'all been? How y'all been? It's good to see y'all lovely faces. Why is this so loud? Let me turn this down.
Are you done lying?
What? What do you mean? How am I lying? You saying if I missed them, I would actually upload?
I ain't saying
that. What you're saying? That what you're saying?
Glad you said
That what you believe? Oh man, huh?
I'm glad you said that.
I didn't say nothing, bro. You out here genuflecting. What am I talking about?
What?
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just saying words. I'm just saying words right now.
Bro, you got that muscles coming in, bro. I was like, you one sexy dog. I was like, God damn.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What you saying, man? Yo. Jason, what up, man? Hope you guys enjoy the thumbnail that my man Jace put together. That's going to be the thumbnail going for Madden 20. For those that are wondering, yo, Tex, where you been? Why ain't you uploading? You good, man? I appreciate the messages in my DMs by asking if I'm good. I'm good. Madden sucks, and I don't want to play no more. So that's
not what it is.
That's why I'm like, I'm not going to post. Like,
tell the real reason.
What's the real reason?
You know what I mean?
What's the real reason?
You know what I mean?
What's the real reason? I don't. What?
Alright, so the real reason is
okay.
Tex said he's gonna throw pollen at me.
What is that?
Ever since then, I had
Okay.
to
Alright.
upload
Okay.
until you make a public apology.
So I gotta apologize because my account got compromised, and Vic's saying that the only way I can get it back is if I apologize to him because my man got pollen allergies, and the best way to go at your enemies is throw pollen at those ones that may suffer the most.
Oh, that's so wrong.
How would that work? I just grab a handful of pollen and throw it at your face? Is that what happens?
I would deadass probably die. Like,
just seize up.
Honestly, my nose would probably swell up so bad, and my eyes,
man,
bro.
Oh man, my man said, "I'm being lazy, bro. Madden has been lazy, bro. You see, all Madden's been doing is milking promos, and I'm lazy. Cat."
Yeah, I mean, y'all gotta think about it too. It's summer.
Oh shit, that's loud. Oh, that's so loud.
Darko, I'm coming to that. Meet me at Harris Teeter. I'm running the fade. Meet me at the same Harris Teeter. I'm running the fade. You ready?
All right, go ahead. That was loud as shit. That scared the hell out of me. Turn that shit down, actually. Thanks for the donation, Darko. Oh man, I should probably not be collecting these power-ups because we might get some cars down the line. Price might jump. Ain't nobody playing Madden though. But no, like, are y'all still enjoying Madden? Like, I know EA stream's about to go live in like 10 minutes, but like, are y'all still enjoying Madden? Because this so far has been the worst mud off season I've ever experienced in my life. And so I figure we'll just go ahead and just not upload because like, why? Like, I could keep streaming, but like, House Rules is boring. Mud's boring. Like, there's not much to do besides wait for premieres to come out because we ain't getting golden tickets. Which is fine. We ain't get over 101 stats, which is fine. But like they just milk. They even milking the position promo. The position, they out here milking the position hero promo, bruh. Like for what? For who? For why? What do you got to gain from it? What's going on? Am I married? No, I'm not married. I'm single. If I got married, y'all wouldn't know about it. So I could be lying right now. I wouldn't even tell Vic. Vic would just be like, yo, where you been?
Tell me, I'll fly right now. Beat your ass.
Why you got a ring on your finger, man? That's what would happen.
Well, thanks for the ring on your finger out.
That's what would happen, bro. Oh, Darko's back. What up, Patty?
Press me.
Wait, yeah.
You surprised me. You ain't press me, though. You surprised me.
Let's see. Worst Madden game you ever played? Like, think about it. The Mutt started out fire. And then after Super Bowl, bro, me and Vic talked about on the podcast we did, like, this shit just, like, fell off a cliff. Like, they legit forgot to, like, this is the mode that people play. It's like the developers moved on to Madden 20 as we get that donation comes in late. Thank you, Darko. Appreciate it. I can still feel the love. Coming back making money. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. Even though I haven't been on YouTube in like, what, 15 days? What's my last upload? Was it like the last 2 Month Man podcast? I think it's always been. Well, I marry you, Rama. I mean, you got a good job? You got health insurance?
Yeah, if you ain't got open money, I ain't married.
T-Rag. I just need health insurance, man. That's all I ask for. T-Rag.
You know what's crazy? I said that, and somebody can clip that or something like that. They can come back to this and be like, remember when Big said this? And then they gonna cut that. I don't even know why I said that. Motherfuckers got hit.
Thank you, T-Rag, for the donation. He says, love you guys. Vikings about to stop the charge of Super Bowl next year. Sorry, Vic. Yo, Vic Big in the street got you like $9. Bro, I gotta get you here all the damn time. What do you mean, bro? Like, people want to go at you, bro. You a fan favorite out here in these streets.
All right, listen, guys. Quiet. Listen. I had a cheat day, okay? I hate to admit it, but I had a cheat day. Only because I saw something on YouTube. I had to try it, right? So this whole month, as you guys know, I don't know if you, I mean, I'm doing a video on it, but last month, I did water for 30 days. Cool, I'm still alive. I got a video for that. And then these past, 16 days, I'm doing 30 more days to show that you can keep the weight off. So there's gonna be one big old video, but this month I've been eating clean, just clean cut, and then
eating.
Now I had a cheat day like 2 days ago. I ain't gonna hold you. It was Chick-fil-A and Doritos, but I saw the Chick-fil-A sandwich, right?
It's Chick-fil-A and Doritos. That's like the saddest cheat day I've ever heard in my life.
No. Why you hating though? Listen.
Like, if you gonna cheat, bro, go all out, bro. If you gonna cheat, don't be out here just getting you know?
End up the far side. No. We gonna cheat a little back. You know, we can bring it back.
All right.
Go to Chick-fil-A.
Gotcha.
Get the chicken sandwich and get the buffalo sauce. Fucking fire.
Spicy sriracha?
Spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Buffalo sauce.
Okay. Fire.
Fire.
Appreciate it. That's some good advice from Vic right there.
McCullough, I'm gonna start playing with him more. The only reason why I couldn't play with your teams before was because I recorded a video. I recorded replacements the first part.
Wait. Donation. Darko's back. Vic, shut up. Darko, he can't hear you. Whenever I get donation, it's so loud that they can't hear you at all. Like, it is the loudest thing in the world. Thank you again, Darko. You still talk shit about you, though. Now go ahead and repeat what you're saying to Jason.
No, I haven't played on the I haven't did many all-time teams because I had to record a video, and it was taking up space on my computer because I didn't want to delete the video I recorded like 2 weeks ago, and then it'd be terrible. So now I got a whole new gigabyte to record a bunch of stuff.
Look at that. Yeah. See, I was gonna do like 2019 rosters, but like I don't fucking want to. Like I could do that. I got a Panthers 2019 roster. Like teams ass.
That shit is.
Like,
oh no,
not
the all-time one.
It's not all times are great, but like the 2000, like this is the Panthers 2019 roster. And if y'all want this, bro, man, I'm bored with Madden right now, but I will fake my way through it. I will be out here just faking a funk right now. But this is the roster the Panthers got for 2019. Sad, very sad. Good offense, terrible defense.
Your screen isn't up, by the way.
You're right. You can't see. Good call. Appreciate it. Bow. There we go. There's the defense. Sad. Defense is sad. Offense is really good though, except for my slot receivers, Chris Hogan.
Yeah, I've been sitting here in the tank top and I'm still hot as fuck.
Dog, I actually an ACL, but yeah, I could like it's just like, I just was bored, man. My man said Vic still wear bootcut jeans and N1s.
I wore bootcut jeans at middle school.
Yo, what's up, Hasib?
Never wore N1s.
It has been a while, man.
I'm not gonna say I do.
Bruh, that shit is loud. So EA stream about to start in about 5 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and just sit here and react to Madden 20 news or Madden Ultimate Team 20 news. I don't know exactly what they're gonna announce today, if anything. Like they don't like to announce like loyalty stuff going into the year because they got to some stuff may change. So they're probably gonna announce. What's up?
They got archetypes.
They should follow their crackhead gaming. They got what?
The title says missions, ultimate challenges, archetypes.
I guess they got archetypes in the game. I don't want all they gotta do for Ultimate Team is just say ratings matter, and I'm here. We'll fucking see what they gotta say, but like if they say ratings matter, we're good because what they're doing is making the X Factor ability and the abilities matter, but not ratings. We play MUT for ratings.
Hey, I got a question.
What's up?
Would you be for specific players only being able to get specific chems?
Yes.
Like Okay, when I say this, I mean like.
Yeah, like Deion Sanders should be able to get run stuff. Fuck that, dude. You can't run stuff for
Kind of like
nothing.
how it was in Madden like 15, where they chose the chemistries kind of for you.
Yeah. See, no, I missed that because it was actually better for team building because you got forced to use certain players.
That's what I was saying. Like in this game, everybody has the same players.
All right, Darko donated again. Hold on.
Kims on everybody.
Darko donated again. You got to be quiet, Vic, for a quick second.
Power bottom.
I can still feel the love. Thank you, Darko, once again for your support, which is like shade to Vic, but thank you. Trying to make text go deaf. Luckily for you, I'm already deaf, so it's not affecting me none.
I hope Madden not like next year. This shit gonna be.
Appreciate it. Nah, Madden pretty much. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out about 3 minutes. I mean, we'll find out in 2 months, really. But
We'll find
I mean, so far, like we think about the past 3 Maddens have been the same. Like with this, like Ultimate Teams at least, like they got the same structure, same card types, they got the same types of sets, gauntlet, all that dumb shit. It's just they keep improving and adding stuff year after year after year.
I kind of recorded a video today, right?
Yeah.
It was Throwback Thursday video. I happened to be playing. Well, I'm gonna just spoil the video. I play Roblox.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I play Roblox Ultimate Team.
Roblox Ultimate.
Their layout is the exact same as Ultimate Team. They made the that's how easy that this shit is. They can redo their entire layout. Like they had packs. They even called it sets. Literally pretty much everything was just like it is in the game. I was like, is it really this easy to make?
Oh, this is copy paste for like it's been copy paste for like 4 years. No, like copy paste. I think this is the same like lineup style for the past like what 5, maybe 4 years. Like this shit ain't hard, bruh. This shit ain't hard, bruh.
For one, I want them to get rid of training.
Training, I'm cool with training, but power up shouldn't cost anything to power it down. You get half the training back, cool, but like don't make me lose coins. Like if I want to depower Cam right now, if I want to take Cam out of the game, look, this motherfucker gonna cost me fucking 35,000 coins to get him back. Like what?
Yo, I lost like 200K powering down the
shit is
replacement team.
Stupid, man.
And I didn't have many.
T-Rag, back with the donation.
I'm right here.
$2. Feel the love. Appreciate it.
Listen, I'm gonna probably play on your account tonight, that way you can fill it up.
All right. Thank you guys. So I'm gonna turn off the alerts when the stream actually starts. That way you guys can actually hear the motherfuckers talking in the background. But thank you, T-Rag. Says think they'll fix the limited or power ups first. I mean, nah, that's an easy fix. That's a really easy fix. Is just listen to our feedback. But if you think about it, they have listened to our feedback all year long. So probably not.
You know what they can do for limited?
What's that?
Make them quick sell when they're in packs, and then when they get out of packs, they go back to regular.
I mean, they could just do what they did a couple years ago with the boss cards and regular cards, but the boss cards are like +1s better. Where it's like they
definitely could, but then also people would just quick sell up for training, so never mind.
That would work. I don't care. I'm cool with the quick sell. I just want them to go up. I want million coin quick sell cards. Cause they're fucking impossible as it is anyway. Like I don't know how many times I pull fucking Ultimate Legend packs on the weekend. I pulled 3 limited times this year, and none of them have been out of the Ultimate Legend pack. I pulled 3.
I pulled Steve.
What's going on,
all day here. All right, I'm turning alerts off. I'm turning alerts off.
20 today. We're talking about Madden Ultimate Team, and yeah, man, what's been going on?
That's why I wore my red shirt today for Madden Ultimate Team. This is another entry into our developer series. We're gonna have 5 total live streams. So far, we've had 2. And tonight's a big one because the MDD crowd is massively a team.
Fix your mic!
We're going to deliver them some info here in
Sorry.
20. What are you looking
Not
forward
you,
to?
The return of Jake Stein.
Absolutely. I mean, Jake Stein's a legend. He's one of our developers here. We're going to bring him out in just a second. But I do want to just go ahead real quick here, take a look at the upcoming live stream schedule, look back at where we've been, and that's what we'll have going on tonight.
Why are you laughing over there?
In the building, you'll be manning this desk here all
Why are
night
you laughing
long. So
over
we've
there?
got that going on. Quick recap here of what we've done so far on these community streams. First week was all about Face of the Franchise QB1 and Franchise Mode. There's a deep dive blog, and then there's, of course, a Gridiron Notes where we break down your questions about that. So if you're tuning in about Franchise Mode, stay tuned, but also make sure you read up on that. Last week, we went over Superstar X Factor abilities. Those are all new things in gameplay. We're going to talk a little bit more about them tonight and how they affect Ultimate Team, but, of course, we'll be going through that as well. Tonight's Ultimate Team. Next week will be more about gameplay. It's another deep dive, part 2. We're going to be covering playbooks, RPOs, everything you need to know about gameplay, part 2. There's currently a gameplay blog out right now that has a lot of detail, but there will, of course, be another one. So,
Hi,
Marcel.
Marcel.
Your questions tonight. We're reading the chat. We've got that going on. Not going to waste any time. We're going to get Jake out here shortly. Madden Ultimate Team is coming. Agent K, what do you got to say to the fans?
You know what? Make sure to go ahead and tune in those gridiron notes, because I think what's really cool is that a lot of the questions that we're seeing from the community, we're answering those on the gridiron notes. We'll be doing the same thing for Madden Ultimate Team. We've actually, what was great was last week regarding Superstar X Factor abilities, there were a lot of questions, how does that play a factor in Madden Ultimate Team? We're going to talk a little bit about that with Jake Stein. We have some questions from the community that we are also going to answer as well. So,
all right, don't go anywhere. Jake Stein is coming out right now after the break. Agent K, Jake Stein, your Madden 20 Ultimate Team.
Bubble stream
for Madden 20 Developer Series. Really excited to get to it. S. Gibbs, pop us up.
All right, we'll wait for them.
What the hell just happened?
Nothing. Absolutely a waste of time. What, huh?
Why did they do that? They act like it's a real TV show.
They gotta get the production though. They got that Stream Deck button. Boop. No, I'm kind of mad, bro. They got rid of Mutt Guru and then upgraded the entire setup.
Did they?
They used to be in front of a green screen, bro. Now they in a hallway. They got people in the background wall. Like, it's like fucking Sports Center. Like they got.
That's trash. That's some trash sports. He's going through a midlife crisis. His hair is at the back of his neck.
Like,
they got him on camera. I'd be mad as hell.
Bro.
Buddy ain't got no hair left, and they got him walking on camera. Man, hell no. Hell no.
All right, let's see how this goes. Hey, by show of numbers in the chat, if you guys are excited for this Madden 28 news, press 1 in the chat. I want to see.
all right, we're
As
back
Jake's
with
on the camera.
man, the myth, the legend, Jake Stein. I hope I said that right. I always mess these things kind of up, when we do broadcasts and things like that. But we have Jake Stein here. We're going to go ahead and go through a lot of things in Madden Ultimate Team. Jake, how have you been, man? It's been a while.
It's been good. It has been a while. It's been arguably too long. Been on the grind, man. There's been a lot going on. Super pumped to be in here tonight talking about everything coming to Madden Ultimate Team in Madden NFL 20.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. So first off, Jake, last week we talked about Superstar X Factors, zone abilities, superstar abilities.
Nice,
There's a lot
Foster.
of questions from the community, like how is that going to go ahead and play a factor in Madden Ultimate Team? So can you give us a little bit of insight on how this new feature is going to play a factor in MUT?
Sure. Well, before we get into it, I'm sure not everybody tuning in tonight was able to check in Clint last week. So what are X Factors? What are superstar abilities? So let's start with X Factors, right? This is a way, this whole feature that gameplay took on this year was really, a great attempt of bringing more authenticity to the game. Right? So what is something that, me as a player that I'm always looking for
Keyword.
is how are we able to differentiate players? Have these guys really stand out? Make the stars feel like stars. Again, something that we're hearing a lot in the building this year. And I think gameplay's absolutely nailed that epic this year. So let's start with X Factors. X Factors are things that you have to earn in the game. It's not something that you just have with. So the example last week was with Patrick Mahomes, our cover man. His X Factor ability is he can throw it 80 yards in the air, right? He has a bazooka, right? But it takes something for him to get that. That is not an every down ability for Patrick Mahomes. So that is tuned in a way where he has to meet some in-game gameplay criteria. As soon as he's met it, he can throw those 80-yard bombs. There are also superstar abilities. Superstar abilities are those things that are part of that player's DNA. He has it on every single play. So again, going back to last week with Patrick Mahomes, he has the ability to have escape artist, right? So he has extra locomotion when he gets outside the pocket. He feels extremely different than when you're playing with Tom Brady. So that's a little bit quick high-level recap as to what that feature entails. So as you mentioned, a lot of questions last week. How does that play in the Ultimate Team? It'd be very easy to think that, in Madden Ultimate Team, hey, I'm creating this huge roster. I've got 25 guys on both sides of the ball. I'm going to load all these guys up with X Factors and superstar abilities. And, for a while, I'll be honest, we were kind of going down that path as well. And we really started to pull the reins back a little bit. And we kind of were asking ourselves and play testing, is this still meeting the goals that gameplay wanted to do? Can stars still feel like stars in that world? And we feel like the answer is no. So while, given for the applicable content.
It's gonna be some fucking.
You will be able to
abilities.
still put abilities and X factors on essentially who. But the key thing in Ultimate Team is when you're in that lineup screen, you're going to denote the 3 players on offense and the 3 players on defense that are going to take not only that X factor but also those passive superstar abilities as well. So we feel like that's going to bring a very interesting meta. There's going to be some really unique choices that have to happen there and combinations. I think that's going to drive a lot of conversation. People are always going to be saying, no, I'm telling you, go with QB and 2 wide receivers, or no way, man, the running game's really strong this year. I'm putting a couple on my O-lineman. I'm getting my back ready to go. We're running it downhill. A lot of interesting choices here. So that's a really high level as to how Madden Ultimate Team's bringing it in. I think we can cut to our first screen here where, we're kind of bringing this into the player upgrades feature that we delivered last year. So, the red chems, as a lot of the, community like to call them, those are essentially gone. Some of those have
Red
morphed
chems
and
gone.
kind of sort of like transcended into these abilities that gameplay has built for us. But those are no longer a thing for us. So now it's all about getting into these abilities, and there's a long sort of escalation plan and how are we going to let certain players have access to these things. Those are things that are still in flight. We're super pumped to be here on May 15th talking about this, but there's a long way to go between now and when the game launches. So just keep in mind, we're super excited to be here talking about this earlier than really we ever have before. But a lot of this is really kind of, to get the feel for what we're doing. There's a lot of answers that we don't have yet. And that's going to come as we continue to build content and continue playtesting to make sure that we get it as right as we can once we launch the game. So again, with that said, you're coming in here. This player has earned the, option to equip some of these abilities. And again, just for anybody who's not familiar with how that worked this year, you get the ability slot, you toggle over, boom. This player, if he meets specific criteria, he has access to these different abilities. Boom, equip it. So whereas the main game and how Clint talked about it last week when we're building out those rosters, that is something that they are controlling. That is a huge conversation with everybody from Dustin Smith to Clint to a lot of different people on the in-game
For sure.
team.
You heard about the triggers and everything.
Ultimate Team will be the place where you can go and actually customize those options, right? That even goes for, let's flip it all the way back to Bazooka with the X Factors. You can customize those as well. So we'll go in there, we'll sort of dictate, what makes sense for which particular player, and build out options for those. I'm talking a lot, but we're on a roll.
No, it's great. It's great because I think one of the things that you're talking about, you said it's specific type of players. You kind of hinted at that.
Yep.
That's like the new thing I heard around here in the office about archetypes, right? And archetypes is going to bring a different level to Madden Ultimate Team next year. You and I have had a lot of conversations about this where it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of the people in the Madden Ultimate Team community feel like players is just a whole bunch of ratings. They all play the same.
Yep.
There's a uniqueness that's coming with archetypes. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked to talk about archetypes. There's a couple of huge benefits that we get, and it continues to feed into that authenticity and differentiating players. So on one hand, we'll talk about this first, which is we'll go in and we'll choose what archetype fits for each player when the game comes out. And with that, we'll be able to say something like, again, I'm kind of making some stuff up here, but this one makes sense. Tom Brady's a field general quarterback, right? We are going to tag him as a field general. What does that mean when it comes to us talking about X factors and abilities? That means that we've gone in and said, these are all the abilities that make sense for field generals, right? So Tom Brady's not going to have access to escape artists. That's not a thing that he'll ever have, no matter if he's 99s across the board. He's never going to have access to that. And we feel like that's an important decision when it comes to, I want to get into a field general. But what that does mean is he's going to have things like, maybe perfect passing in the red zone, perfect passing on lobs or deep throws. There's a lot of different options there. And those are things that something like a scrambler will not have access to. So being able to have those very critical choices when it comes to building out what do you want on the field at any given time, I think is going to be huge for us. And then we talk about the other piece to that. The other thing that gets us really excited is, up until this point, Madden Ultimate Team has had to go in and build its own special OVR calculation for each position. For sure. So what does that mean? For positions like outside linebacker, tight end, we are going and having to do our best to say, well, yep, pass rushing means something. Yep, zone. Obviously, there's people who need to have that. Also means something. Being able to play the run. Oh, yeah, that also needs to play into this. And you sort of get what we've been able to deliver up until this point. So when guys come out and you're like, well, how is he meeting that rating? The ratings don't justify it. Or this guy's just kind of good at everything. He's not great at everything. Archetypes allow us to take that next step. Let's say outside linebackers has 4 different archetypes. Well, that means we get to build 4 different formulas for those. So when we have a pass covering linebacker, that means we get to weigh things more into, some of those physical stats. Obviously, things like zone coverage and man coverage come into play, right? But if you have our run stuffer, right? Okay, now we get to value and weigh things more on strength, tackle, hit power, things like that. It's going to, I think, provide very unique and interesting choices. When a player comes out, I think it's going to be much more of a conversation than it has been in the past, and a lot of choices for the players on, again, what do you want out of that 53?
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome because I think one of the things we hear a lot of times within the community is, ratings. There's just, how do they work? How do the OVR calcs work? And I think there's a lot more differentiation going to be happening now as we go into Madden 20. So that's great stuff to hear. So we saw that screenshot. It looks like power-ups are back going into Madden 20. And one of the things, let's talk about one of the new features coming to Madden Ultimate Team. It's called Missions. It's talk a little bit about that. With
MLB
right now.
Missions?
Like, what is it? Why are we doing it and whatnot?
Love you, Braden.
So Missions was
water bottle?
a really big deal for us on the live content team. We make so much content, and when we take a look and look for feedback or take a look at some of our in-game data, some of that information that we're getting back, we sometimes question ourselves: Are we teaching this well enough? Are people finding the content that we're creating on a given day? So Missions really kind of is that opportunity for us to take this open world of Ultimate Team, which can go deep and get very complicated very quickly, and focus it up and bring you into almost these quests, right? So again, Gibbs has pulled up some screens. We're going to roll through some. Again, I want to reiterate, keep in mind, this is definitely test content. This is something that is kind of proving out what the feature can do. This is not something that you're going to see on day one.
For sure.
So with that in mind, Missions is now the place where you are landing on when you come into Madden Ultimate Team. It's a big deal. We want you to know what's going on and what's the easiest way to get into that and understand what that content is. So with strength training here, we're taking a look at that. This is what we're calling, this is the campaign level, is what we're calling it internally. So here are now your actual 2 missions under that campaign, which are essentially saying, hey, do you want to work on improving your offense, or do you want to work on improving your defense? Cool, sweet. I'm going to go check out my offense. The step 1 here, again, a very basic, a very simple way of communicating this is saying,
missions are basically just
we're going to
objectives.
earn stars in these particular challenges. Now, ultimate challenges are something that we're going to get into in just a second. But for here, this could be a multitude of stats. People, I'm sure, watching the stream are very familiar when we come out with something like Zero Chill, and it's like, well, cool, we're going to take you into, you got this, pack when you launch the game. Now you need to pick one of them. Now you need to go put them in your lineup. Now you need to go play these challenges. Now you need to go put those guys in a set. There's all these things that we ask you to do. Missions are a thing that we can take you and step by step direct you and get you where you need to go.
That's awesome.
Now the next part of this are what we call the actions. So this is a place where, again, if you're one of those veteran users, how am I going to find, success with missions, or what's the benefit for me with using missions? Well, it's going to be kind of like your quick hotspot to go anywhere in the game. So this is your actions tile. This is telling you that I can go into a particular ultimate challenge and we take you directly to the challenge. Another example here are specific sets. Well, we can take you to, again, very, very specific sets, not just the sets category, and then you figure it out from there. Or solo battles, or not pictured in here, something like the auction house, where we can take you and pre-filter what you're looking for in the auction house, and even give you a little bit of information about what the median price is, so you kind of have a good understanding before ever hitting the auction house. Is this guy that, what I'm seeing, is this roughly what everybody else is getting them at?
Repeat that again.
There's a median, again, not pictured here. One of the things with test content is the auction house doesn't exactly look like it does on production. So when you come in here, if there's a spot for the auction house, it will tell you what the median price is for a specific item
That's pretty cool.
that we have you looking for. So for this one, we're taking you to the challenges. Here's your couple different categories of here. Master the Sticks. There's a couple things going on the screen here, but I want to go one step further before we talk about that. So here you can take a look at the sequences, but we start off when we show you the milestones. I guess now's the perfect time to get into stars. So now with ultimate challenges, there's this star rating. It's not just the simple pass or fail. There is a skill to it, and there could be multiple stars that you can go do. And rather than saying, hey, we're going to put the best reward at the very last challenge, it's going to be more about, well, how many stars have you accumulated through this whole thing? And milestones, if we want to go ahead and push ahead here, is that first example where we get to show you
milestones are
this
back.
Many stars is going to earn you this reward.
That's awesome.
So some really cool stuff here. It gives us the opportunity to, again, sort of expand that out. I'll talk a little bit more here at the end as to, again, why we're going more with the star rating versus, hey, like, I'll just play the last game. Why would you change that? There's a very good answer to that we'll get into in just a second here. So we can push past this. And now we find ourselves at the game screen. And you can see here that Gone with the Wind is a total of 5 stars here. There's 15 stars possible in this particular go-along sequence. So I'll dive into here, Gone with the Wind. And here's where your first big choice comes into.
Okay.
You have your easy, and then you'll see that as we toggle over, that there are easy, medium, hards for this. With easy, you can see here that, sorry Gibbs, I messed you up on that one. On the easy, you can see it's on rookie, right? The requirements for things like throwing for 10 yards on this drive, or you can see the bonus goals for throwing 10 yards on the first play and throwing for 30 yards on this drive. Some additional things to get you stars. If you were to go in right now on easy and nail your primary goal and the 2 bonus goals, you'd walk away with 3 stars. But if you're looking to max this one out, play it on 5 stars. You're gonna bump it up to medium. You're gonna bump it up to hard. You can go from hard right away. There's no like I have to do this one at a time. If you want to come in here and you feel like you're ready to go, you can go straight to hard, which is going for this particular example is just going to move that challenge into all pro. Now, when we update the easy, medium, hard, there's more than just difficulty that we can touch, right? Difficulty being one, we could change the game style. We could change where you start on the field. We can change the time. We can change, maybe we make it a stronger CPU team that you're playing against on hard. There's some really cool things that we can do to sort of, maybe test for skill in ultimate challenges. Whereas before, I really would, recommend the team that, hey, solo challenges were really about, just get your time investment in.
Yeah.
Just come in here, grind them out, get your time in. But let's, outside of something like Gauntlet, let's not really test for skill. That's not what those are meant for. I think Ultimate Challenges lets us lean a little bit more over to, testing for skill. You get some more opportunities there. And what's great for us is, how we're thinking about it internally is, let's say, a normal sequence now, we'll say, hey, at the end of this one, we're going to get you a 95 overall, whatever. Mm-hmm. For this new world that we're about to live in, it's not going to be about, well, now max out all 50 out of 50 stars in order to get that item. It might still be like, get 30 of the 50 stars. That gives us extra room at the end to play with, to give you additional content. You can get maybe some additional currency, some additional packs. It won't be things that, sort of exclude you from progressing anywhere, but it's an opportunity to earn additional rewards. So we feel like this route is going to make things more replayable. One thing that I did not touch on
replayable
is that, you can play these out of order now. Mm-hmm. In a lot of cases, we still have the ability to lock them and, sort of progress as you go. But again, knowing that, hey, I'm not ready for this particular challenge yet. Let me move on to the next one. You still have that option, right? And then what did Gibbs pull up here? The reason why we are not calling them solos anymore and why we are saying solos are dead is you now have the option for most of the content. We can still, again, we'll have some play here. It won't be, I'm not going to say it's 100%. But for most of the content, you're going to have the option to see your buddy online, tag him, invite him, bring him into a lobby. Now, these are no longer solo challenges. We're in ultimate challenges now.
That's awesome. So you're basically now just giving people the opportunity to kind of play these together. I know, solo grinding, it's, you're sitting there, you're at home, you're Netflixing and chilling and just kind of playing these things. Now you can actually play them together, kind of work on them together. It's a more social experience, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. So you said solo challenges are like gone. Right now, with Ultimate Challenges, what does that necessarily bring? You said replayability was one of the things, which was pretty awesome. And you also said that there's no more pass-fail conditions. which is something I want to highlight. I don't know if you guys out there play Gauntlet, in some of those really difficult, challenging situations. Those are situations that, one, I wanted some friends either to play with, or two, I wanted to be able to go ahead and just go back and replay it and all that kind of stuff. So can you highlight what other upgrades are coming to Ultimate Challenges? Yeah,
one thing that we definitely could have touched on was with the bonus conditions. If you're somebody, kind of a veteran to Ultimate Team, and I'm sure plenty of you are tuning in tonight, and thank you so much for doing so, is when you went and tried to engage with a challenge and wanted to get that bonus condition, you had to do it that time.
Yeah.
As soon as you played it and passed it and then backed out, and if you hadn't completed it, there was no way for you to go back and ever get that bonus condition again. That has been updated. That has changed now.
Very
so
cool.
we have the ability for you to, again, if you want to play it on 1 star, get the bonus goals, whether you do or don't, you still have the option to go back in on it on even a higher difficulty and then go back and get those bonus conditions. Some other things that we have, some additional end conditions. So one of the ones that really sticks out in my mind that I think is going to be a difference maker is something like ball carrier moves. So imagine a bonus goal. The main goal might be rush for 40 yards, and the bonus goal could say, well, yeah, do that on 1 play and make sure that you have 3 ball carrier moves while doing it. Or even potentially even harder, 0 ball carrier moves. So now you're looking at, again, additional ways for us to sort of, spice it up a little bit, get you into something a little bit different. So we're super pumped about that.
That's awesome. So if a person that, for someone who grinds solos, what's going to change right there? Because, again, we're moving away from solo challenges to Ultimate Challenges. Just to kind of recap, what are some of the things that are going to change for those individuals that are just grinders?
Well, you don't have to do it by yourself anymore. Just playing Madden with friends is a better experience, and we truly feel that we've been building out squads here for a couple years. Bringing solos into the same back end tech stack as our online modes gave us a lot of, it was sort of like the full completion, right? It was essentially our version of Endgame. It wasn't quite 22 chapters, but we were able to sort of complete that technical story for us. And bringing that all together allows us to do something like build squads, which is its own very unique thing that lives outside of it. And you know what? Now that we've built our former solo challenges in the same back end, sweet, with very minimal work, we get to bring that same feature over into challenges as well. So I think that's going to be a big deal. I think people are going to really enjoy that. It's not, make Madden a little less lonely, right? And I think that this type of feature really speaks to that. And I'm excited to hear all the different stories that people have, right? We dipped our toe in the water this year with squad challenges. They were, for the most part, very sort of, solo experiences, very just like that was it. There wasn't necessarily a ton of depth there. Now, whenever there's new challenge content out there, again, for a majority of it, you're going to be able to do that with your friends. So I think that that's going to be a big difference maker. Plus, with the stars, with the replayability, that extra, hint of challenging, being a little bit tougher than what they're used to. It's not just Netflix, chill, just kind of like, okay, I'm just grinding through these, getting through them. Nope. You're going to have to kind of lock in a little bit more this year, especially if you're looking to max out all those stars.
Cool. I really do like the element of a social experience. I think a lot of players at the end of the day definitely want to go ahead and play with their friends.
Hey, look at that!
Yeah, it looks like it looks like Stagehand might have just popped up a screenshot right here.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good. We were almost going to forget about this.
So
how could we?
Yeah. So one of the things that I think a lot of our players find very frustrating, right? Is like you play a solo, you got to go ahead and exit, go back to the main menu, and it's something we've been asking for quite a while. I see a screenshot right here. It says, play next challenge. Walk me through this. What were some of the challenges to bring this to fruition? It sounds like Ultimate Challenges and everything, this new tech allows us to do this. What's up with this?
Yeah, so how did we get here? Really, you got to thank the community first and foremost.
For sure.
This is one of the things that we've been hearing about for a while and has been, no pun intended, a challenge for us to get to. But how did we get to this specific screen? Okay, for the players here, you've just completed your challenge. For this particular one, you could only have earned the 1 star. What does this allow you to do? We pop this up right away now. Immediately lets you just choose play next challenge. And when you select this button, I don't think we have a screenshot for this, but it takes you essentially back to that same screen where you are toggling with what stars you want to do. It automatically populates what the next one is. You get to choose what difficulty you want it on. You hit the button, and there is still a load. I want to make this clear. There is still a load to get into the next one. It's not this instant thing that happens. However, takes out a lot of the button clicks, a lot of
Going back, going forth, yeah.
There was a lot of extra nonsense there that quite frankly you've just had to deal with, and this allows you to get have these be so much more accessible and easier to get into. It's going to be easier to just I'll go get that next one.
Yeah, because you just want to move on. You just want to kind of get into it, get it done, get those rewards, keep going, keep playing, all that kind of great stuff.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you, Gibbs, for pulling that one up. That one is a big one. One that, quite frankly, especially with that screen, just came in maybe last week. So,
yeah.
Again, that's why it's just so cool and exciting to get to talk to you guys as these things are coming in real time.
Yeah, no, really appreciate it. I think a lot of times from a community perspective, you guys give a lot of great feedback, and the teams are taking that feedback in.
Lies!
The team specifically
Lies!
Figure out ways to go ahead and make these things a reality. And some of it is really dependent on the tech that we have available to us. And it's kind of hard to go ahead and do that mid-season, but it's definitely on their radars to go ahead and get resolved for you guys. Now, let's talk about house rules, man. House rules was a new thing. We saw that out there. It said beta on there.
Yeah.
There's that beta tag. There's a reason why it says beta, and you and I have had some conversations. What was the idea behind bringing house rules to Madden Ultimate Team? And when we have it in beta, what are we trying to solve for? What are we looking into?
Well, beta is really, sort of that opportunity for us to test something out. It's obviously a little bit about what beta means when it comes to a video game. To go back and to that stream when we got to really introduce what house rules were, and I'll kind of give a quick recap of that. It was our opportunity to sort of get with the gameplay team and say, what else can we do here? We think that there's an opportunity to make Madden more replayable, and we feel like house rules would be a great way to do that. So again, for those that maybe aren't familiar, house rules were our ability to go in there and say, all right, for this particular game, all passing touchdowns are going to be worth 12 points. We're going to double passing touchdowns, or we're going to have one of the events that we had this year was called half off. So it was 1st and 5, and you only got 2 downs to achieve that first down. So something that was really going to sort of shake up the meta, change the way that, kind of get you out of that rut of this is just another game of Madden. And the results and the engagement that mode saw were just fantastic. And I can't thank everybody enough. That was just amazing. So, of course, we're bringing that back. I don't think you're going to see it on day one. There's going to be a lot to do on day one when Madden 20 drops. But it's something that you're going to see, much earlier in the calendar this year. Probably some additional rules, stuff that we can't maybe quite get into yet. But going all the way back to, why did we want to chase something like Ultimate Challenges? And why did, I hinted a little bit about bringing that into that online tech stack. Well, that meant that there were some things that the offline, the old solo challenges mode was going to get as an enhancement. Well, vice versa, there was also some things that the online modes were going to take and get as enhancements. And one of those things, and maybe the biggest one, is we can now have start and end conditions in online games. So what does that mean, and how does that translate into something like house rules? Well, for next year, I could have an event that says, well, we're going to have college overtime, and we're going to just start you already in overtime. You're just going to go right there. You're not having to play through the 4 quarters in order to get to that spot. We're just going to drop you right in there. And that's going to just be this crazy, unique experience. We could also do some things, and we've talked about this internally, and we're still trying to figure out and flesh out what sort of bugs that we're getting to. But we could also have one that says, all right, the first person that scores a passing touchdown in this game is going to win, right? And just drop you right in there. So I think it's going to continue to feed a couple things. One, change up the way that you're playing Madden. Keep that meta shaken up. It's going to make Madden more replayable. And then also another goal that I've always really loved, is especially when it comes to online games, is having shorter experiences. Everything doesn't need to be a 40-minute investment. There's opportunities for you to get in there and still have a lot of fun, and not everybody can really have that same sort of investment. So being able to go in there and do things like that, I think are going to be big. And so that's one of those where you're so excited that you're getting it for 20, and you're like, we just missed it for 19. But man, it's coming soon. I think everybody's going to love it.
That's awesome. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit right now about some of the community questions we got last week.
Okay.
We got some questions from the community. One that I see a lot in my timeline, and I don't know if Gibbs, if we have that asset or that screenshot that we can go and throw up while we're talking about stuff, but I'll just read it off my sheet right over here. And so the MUT Master completion token, right? So there's been a lot of chatter on social media where people are asking, is it going to be worth anything this year? Is it going to be worth anything next year? I don't know if you have any kind of, if you can answer that question.
Yeah, so it's something that we definitely haven't forgotten about, and being able to grind and do everything that it takes to earn that is a big deal. So we want to make sure that the reward that we have for that type of engagement and success in Ultimate Team really pays off. So it's not something that I can get into tonight. There's some things that, you know, I guess you're just going to have to kind of trust us on a little bit here. It's going to be worth it. Could it be a 19? Could it be a 20 thing? Yes.
Okay. This cryptic messaging, Jake.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, all good, all good. I appreciate it, though. So thanks for addressing it. It's definitely something the team looked at. And guys, I appreciate all the feedback that you guys provide us. We definitely get that over to the MUD development team so they can go ahead and take a look at that stuff. One other question we got from last stream is, can you give players an edge distinction so they can play outside linebacker or D-end without losing any chems? You know, so this is something a lot of people have been asking for. Kind of what, you know, what's the plans for that?
So there's nothing really to announce here at this time. It is absolutely something that we've talked about internally. You know, there are absolutely guys in the NFL, I've talked about it a couple times tonight, is what are things that we can do to separate players? They're part of like what it takes to be a superstar, or why somebody is a superstar, is because
Thank you, Marcel.
you know, they are mismatches. They are unique players on the field. You know, so somebody like Travis Kelce has absolutely earned the right to not only be called a tight end, but they split him out all the time because he's a flex tight end. You know, this guy can move all around. He's a joker piece for the Chiefs. So it makes all the sense in the world to have this guy, you know, be inserted into the wide receiver spot and not really take much of a penalty. So it's something that we believe in. It's something that we know we want to get to. You know, there's some things that kind of prevent me from going any further with this answer,
sure.
But it is something that we've absolutely talked about.
Cool. So one question that we've gotten a lot as well is, you know, will every team have at least one player with an X Factor ability, and how's that going to work in Madden Ultimate Team?
So that particular question to me feels more of like a main Madden question. Will every team have something like that? I would really probably defer that to Clint. I don't know if everybody's going to have an X Factor, but I think every team will be represented on some curve of superstar abilities, X Factors plus superstars, only X Factors. I'm sure there's going to be a mix of everything when it comes to the 32. Now, when it comes to Ultimate Team, obviously a little bit of a different ballgame. We haven't talked about this yet. It's not something that we're going to get into tonight, but like, what does the launch content look like? What are we planning on? Is it something where, you know, a lot of people are going to have access to those abilities right away? Is it only going to be for really the top end and those same sort of elite guys? We don't have answers for that. And honestly, where I think we're going to land on is somewhere balanced in the middle. You know, I think that there's an opportunity for us to have some of the, you know, lower OVR guys have access to some of the, you know, lower end of the abilities in terms of the power scale. And then again, part of differentiating and being authentic, those superstar players will have access to more things.
Cool. I had a phone call this weekend. I was talking to someone, and they were talking about, you know, LTDs. You know, are they going to quick sell for $500K, you know, next year? I know that's kind of been like a hot topic in the community, and just kind of wanted to ask you about it.
Again, one of those things where we're definitely talking about it. Definitely a conversation topic for this year, and I would think that there were both pros and cons. We always hear a lot more about the cons, but I do think that there were some pros in there. One of the things that we have to always be careful with when it comes to live content is overcorrecting. There are definitely things that pop up and we address, and then you start to hear from the other side, right? You kind of, it's like the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the grease a little bit. So it's something that we're definitely talking about. You know, thankfully, that's not just a me decision. You know, I have an awesome team behind me where we all get to chime in and we're all invested in this thing together. So we're going to come together and figure out, okay, if it's not that, how can we still accomplish a lot of the same goals without having that, you know, essential floor on the auction house? So it's something that, you know, nothing to announce tonight. You know, as maybe if we have another opportunity to get together and talk as we get closer to launch, maybe we'll have some more concrete answers at that point.
Awesome. Well, guys, just to give you a heads up.
Before the survey,
Yes.
you guys guys do 1 minute on missions, like the 30,000 foot view on missions, just to make it super clear.
There you go.
I feel like this is the one that's going to be on Instagram, and like I can't mess this take up. So missions are going to be the way that we take this open world of Ultimate Team and really condense it down and focus it into very specific quests. So it's your way of understanding what is some of the brand new content that we just released. How do I get into that? And it's also a great avenue to take you directly to where you need to go. We can take you directly to a specific challenge. We can take you to a very specific set. We could take you to a place in the store if we know for sure that that particular pack gets you progress onto the thing that you're looking for. So it's really this kind of hot spot that takes you anywhere, in the game, and it's your quick, again, I'll go with another end game. These are your portals, right? On your left, Cap. That's what these are.
That's awesome.
How'd I do? Boom.
That's awesome. Well, Jake, thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming on. Guys, just a heads up, go ahead and make sure, if you're going to go ahead, we're going to put out some information about the deep dive blog through the main channels. Make sure to go ahead and tag hashtag Madden20, also hashtag Mutt20. Give us those questions. We're going to be answering a lot of those on the Gridiron Notes tomorrow. So one of the things that we're trying to do at the end of the
Gibbs is already trying to chase me down at breakfast.
I know. So one of the things we talked about is like we'll get in here at the office around like 8 o'clock, 8:30. We'll try to get in touch with Jake and say, hey, these are all the questions that we saw from the community. Is there anything that we can answer in the Gridiron Notes and get those answers out there for our community members? So definitely stay tuned for that. Jake, again, it's always a pleasure. Really appreciate you coming out.
All right. So, Vic, you still here?
They talked about the one thing I care about, and that's it. I just want them to have college overtime rules as a separate game mode. Fuck all the other shit. They don't do that, I'm gonna be mad. That's all I care about. I'm tired of playing 45-minute games. Don't nobody got time for that no more. That's like the Stone Age era where you play a whole hour game. Don't nobody got time for that. And if you scoring and he not quitting, you better get some chips and something to drink, and you better pull up a movie because you're gonna be there for an hour and a half. But with college overtime rules, I can score, stop you, boom, get out of my game, easy. But nah. My bad.
Nah, that's gonna be like one house rules that we get like once every month. Like, it's not gonna be it's a house rules mode, bruh.
I will say, I was hella confused about what they're talking about.
All right, so I wrote a list of stuff to discuss. I'll probably make a video about this.
Nah, make a video about everything.
So X factors, talk about red Kims are gone, archetypes, which is pretty simple to understand, play style, all that done. We got missions, which basically take over for objectives. Then we got obviously got the ape, and yeah. I gotta go back and listen to it. I think he said at the beginning of this stream, what did he say? Only 3 people per fucking Mutt roster are gonna get abilities?
No, 3 on defense, 3 on offense.
Three on defense, 3 on offense, so 6 total.
Go ahead and break it down and drop 5 videos. Go ahead.
So the 3 on defense, 3 on offense. So basically, you got to basically choose the players you want to highlight if that's the case.
Nah, Jason, if you see how long I will be recording videos, and you would be like, what? Like, if I was to play 3 games of Madden, I'd be recording for over 2 hours.
Yeah, people don't be quitting like that, especially again for a 10-minute video, bro. You be out here to get 45-minute games.
And the thing about it is either that or they just run the ball and they get 3 yards of carry. Y'all don't want to see me. Y'all don't want to see somebody upload 3 yard of carry.
Yeah, right? Or they fucking run a spam blitz and you have to fucking not talk and just block 18 people.
I just leave. I got time.
Yeah, so just you got certain things to go about it. All right, so I'm gonna go back and listen to the beginning part of this. This is interesting. A lot of stuff here, but a lot of nothing as well. So basically, the 2 things that I take away from this is that they redid solos, called them challenges, and you can play with a friend if you want to play yourself, and basically you can replay the same solos for stars, which will help you earn coins. So that's interesting. If we don't get the gauntlet out of the gate, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be really tight, bruh.
I don't even know what they were talking about with only thing I care about was the OT stuff.
They said solos are dead, bro. But I think it's the term named solos are dead. I think challenges will still be in the game, but we better get a gauntlet, bro. We better get a journey. We better get all this stuff. I'm not about to be out here playing the same solos doing the bonus conditions for stars. Like that sounds so lame. It's cool that they're adding different in-game stuff on it too. Like so if they want you to get like 90 yards rushing, you got to get that without like running, without spinning, or without juking. Like that'd be kind of cool to see. Or you got to do three different things on here. Like, but this is weird because like playing Souls with friends is cool, but like all that's gonna be is just me and you hopping on with Nick and having play for us while we edit videos. That's all that's gonna be. I don't know. How do y'all feel about this, bro? How do y'all feel about this in the chat?
I just need them to drop a my player mode so I can just like.
I'm cool with archetypes, even though it depends on how they do it though. Because like if they don't have like if a player can't be both, like wouldn't you say Aaron Rodgers is the field general and like a scrambler?
No.
You wouldn't say he's
but
both.
I mean,
You wouldn't say Aaron Rodgers
like dual archetypes?
Yeah.
He's not a. He's a I wouldn't say scrambler. I would say like by timer if that was a.
But like just in terms of like what this dude can do on the field, like he can do both the things that like. So if they only limited to one archetype, like one player can only be limited to one archetype, that's not gonna be. It's gonna be kind of boring for gameplay wise. Because why would you even use Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers can't be as like deadly as like a Patrick Mahomes would be. I don't know. This is a lot. This is a lot. Wait till you buy Madden 20, you can play too. We gave you 5 years and they get worse and worse. How about waiting till the game comes out itself? As people are waiting for it, just want to see. Just today was interesting. Mud is fine. No money spent is worrying, but gameplay drives it
no money
off.
spent is still gonna be there.
Yeah, the only
Be spent better. Like you can. The thing about it is like if you got
It
two
depends.
PS4s, you can get your farm account and do the solos with it,
Yeah,
and you get double the rewards.
that could work as well. Like you
So,
can,
yeah, nah,
you can literally
nobody-
be on the same IP and just like as long as you are playing at the same time, you can
They'll
farm
find it.
that. Yeah, farms are going to be big this year, I would assume. People who have like two PS4s or just have friends that
They ain't tripping at all. They get double the rewards.
Yeah, no, and plus with the stars, like they showed a graph or a thing with it where it's like if you get like 50 stars, you get like 50,000 coins and some other shit. So you obviously get the coins for everything else. So it looks like if you get all the stars collected, you get like probably like 80K and a bunch of training as well. So that's not. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about like there not being any souls in the game. Like if I pull up Madden day one and there's no fucking gauntlet, bro, I'm gonna be really mad. I'm gonna be really mad. I like the gauntlet. Gauntlet's fun. These are fucking amazing. Journey sucks, but the gauntlet's dope because they just give you good rewards on top of that, plus players at the end of it, plus a chance to pull some good stuff out of these packs, and these don't take that long. Like they take like 6 hours to knock each one of these out, but they don't feel like that because they go by quickly. And at the end of the year, obviously the players get better and better. But I think they'll still be there. I think they're just gonna. They got solo battles are back. Yeah, I don't know. Missions are basically objectives, except for they're just gonna be able to hold your hand while showing what to do. So like, if you come to the objectives, it'll be like, hey, to get 10 wins and whatever half off in house rules, you click X on it, and it'll take you to house rules, as opposed to what it does right now, which if you hit X does nothing. Sometimes it takes you someplace, but most of the time it doesn't. So for this right here, it'll take me to, it says complete the week 40 objective list, whatever, and then it'll take me to the what do you call it? I guess the set particularly. Hold your hand through it, so it's gonna be easier for new players to get involved in the game, which is good, I guess. Which is good for the casual fan. Not good for the hardcore, but good for the casual. Pocket presents for A-Rod. Madden is weak. You don't get to, have to play with someone. It's an option. Yeah, it's all optional. All optional, bro. Bro, you're gonna be doing the same thing next year. I feel like so many people are gonna get their accounts spent next year. That's funny. What's up? What up, George? All right, back to this list. Red Kims are basically repackaged as abilities, which they were this year. And you only can basically assign 3 players or highlight. I think you can probably put abilities on anybody you want to, but when you get into the game, there's going to be like, which 3 players do you want to have, or which 6 players you want to have on both sides of the ball with these abilities. They didn't say that all players are going to have abilities, but not all players are going to have superstar abilities, which makes sense because superstar is going to be probably limited to the top 50. If EA's smart, they just go to the NFL top 100 list and just fucking copy that and make all those guys superstar abilities.
Nah, if EA was smart, they'll make a my player mode, make a 7-on-7 game mode, and make us upgrade our character by buying mud points.
Hey, bruh.
I drop I max the player out immediately.
That's not what they do. That's not what they're doing at all.
And then you got to go play the franchise with your player, to or like my career with your player, to upgrade them. Boy, man, listen, I'm gonna make my own game.
All right. Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything else here to talk about. Like, this is
Nah,
gonna be.
you gonna make a video on it.
I guess that's what I'm gonna do. Talk about stuff in the video because, like, I guess it'll be a little more digestible, especially after I go back and listen to some of the stuff they're talking about. But yeah, this is pretty basic for the most part. Like nothing. I guess the biggest announcement was just going to the next solo, like playing, but it's still gonna be a load screen. So like my man Jason said earlier, instead of going through 2 loading screens, you go through 1 loading screen, which would be a little faster for those who are out here solo grinding. But for most part, it's just gonna be star grinding objectives. Yeah. All right. Madden comes out August 20th. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I'll go ahead and make this video. I'll try my best to get it out tonight, but if not, it'll be out tomorrow. But it'll be comprehensive. And I can go ahead and do some other stuff as well in terms of like being more informed on it.
Drop a like on the stream. They added OT rules. At least they said they. I hope it's every week.
It's not gonna be every week. It's gonna. They have different ones for house rules. House rules is gonna be more fun this year because they actually have more of the technology to basically do different in-game stuff. They didn't even mention anything about like different types of teams for house rules or events, unfortunately. But the fact that we can go into house rules and first person score passing TD wins is gonna be kind of fun. That's gonna be cool. It's gonna be quick as shit, bro.
Marcel, you lying, boy.
What?
You telling me if they drop a my player, you choose a position, you choose the archetype, and then it's a 7-on-7 game mode, like, and it's like Park, but for Madden, man, get out of here, bro. Get out of here, man. I fucking boost my player all the way up. I'd be a.
I got you, Ram.
I'd be a field general. Dot creator, something like that. I don't know.
Creating jobs out here. All right, I'm gonna go make a video on this. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. What?
Let me caress the stream up out of here, guys. I'm gonna send you out on a good note.
I already ended the stream. I'm lying. I didn't end the stream. I was gonna end this reaction, but yeah, I was waiting for it.
I ain't want to sing it no more.
All right, it's cool.
I ain't gonna bless y'all with my vocals.
I'm gonna get a copyright strike anyway if that happens.
What? No, with my vocals.
All right.
I sound like, huh?
Okay.
All right, bet.
All right, bye.
Wait.